I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello everybody, welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I'm using my iPad, mate, and it's a bit weird. I'm joined by Alfie, all the way from Southend-on-Sea via Hadley. So, Alfie, how are you doing, man?
Good. I've not been on the channel for a couple of weeks. I don't think anyway. So
Yeah,
it's good to be back doing the previews.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. Right, give me your quick assessment of last night, and then we'll get into the Palace game.
I thought last night was really encouraging because it was a dead rubber game, let's be honest, but it was a game that was actually very useful because we used the players which aren't getting a lot of minutes at the moment so they can get up to speed. And obviously young players got a chance to make an impression. So I actually thought it was a really useful game. I thought it was important, and I thought despite it being dead rubber, it was only a benefit to us, to be honest, because as I said, we didn't use any players that are playing all the time, apart from Ben Johnson maybe. So yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I thought it was decent. I thought the lads played all right yesterday, and I think the young lads done pretty well, considering like it's their first competitive game. But we're going to get into this Palace game. Right, talk to me about this man, Patrick Vieira. Assess his time at Palace for you.
I think Vieira's done a great job of building a young squad. And before he came in, Palace fans weren't very happy because they weren't getting terrible league finishes, but their squad was the oldest in the league. They didn't have anything to be that excited about because they were just getting mid to low table, weren't building a young side, as I just said, and the football was a bit boring. Vieira's not a perfect manager tactically, and his subs are very weird as well, I've got to be honest. But he's done a great job of building a young and fresh squad. He's brought in players like Michael Elise from Reading, and he's a great winger. He's someone we probably should have gone for.
He's a good player, I've got to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, he's played Tyrick Mitchell all the time, who's now gone on to play for England. He's progressed Aberi Eze, who was there before he came, but he's progressed him even further. He's brought in young strikers like Edouard, Joachim Anderson and Mark Guehi are two very good centre-backs, and he's brought both of them in. And they're playing a possession-based style more than they were under Hodgson. So overall, I'd say he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think he's done all right, mate. I've been quite surprised with him, if you want me to be honest. When I look at him, like he was at, New York City, I think it was. That's where he first started. He's sort of managed a career. Then he went to Monaco, I think it was, or Nice or somewhere like that. And then
Nice, yeah.
He's ended up at Palace. I think he's done well. Like from Roy Hodgson to him, he's a bit like it's night and day, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But, I think he's done all right. I think he's done pretty decent in my opinion. Let's talk about Palace though, and these men that we've got to watch out for on Sunday. Eze and Zaha. Let me ask you this: would you take Zaha on a free next year, or would you put a bid in for him? Because I would like him at West Ham. I think he's the sort of player West Ham need, ball carrier. But is he a bit?
Yeah, I think Zaha, as much as his temperament winds me up as an opposing fan, I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league. I think if he played for a bigger side, people would see how good he is. He's skillful, he's quick, he's got a great shot on him, he's direct, he draws a lot of fouls. He's definitely Palace's most important and beneficial player, and I think he'd probably be our best attacker if I'm perfectly honest. So, yeah, I'd take him, and he's someone that we need to try and keep quiet on Sunday. But the worrying thing is our right backs haven't been great this year. So, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I like Eze. And obviously Eze was the man who was supposed to come to West Ham. But West Ham went for Syed Benrahma. Out of the two, which one's done better for you? Zaha or Eze or Benrahma for you?
I think Eze had a big injury, so that certainly disrupted his progress. I'd say when Eze's played, he's probably been slightly better than Benrahma, but both haven't done badly by any means. But I think Eze, when he's played, has looked really good at times. I thought last season he weren't great, but that was understandable. He just came back from a big injury. This year, he's back to looking really good. He can progress the ball well. He's silky in possession. He keeps the ball well. He was meant to get an England call up, but then he got that injury. So, yeah, for the price that they paid, Palace certainly got a player that was worth the money.
Yeah, listen, I like the pair of them. And one thing with Palace, they are a counter-attacking side. I think they're going to sit deep against West Ham, and we will talk about West Ham. But for me, I look at Palace and they've got better, but they've not got majorly better, if that makes sense. Like, they're no different to how they was under Hodgson, just a bit more glamorous on the eye sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the last time out, they beat Southampton 1-0 at home and they're 10th in the league. You surprised that they're so high up in the league this season?
I'm surprised, but I'm not, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I'm surprised because they're 10th, but I actually think they played quite poorly this year. I think, for example, we played better than them this season, and we're 13th. But I did predict them to come 9th. But their performances have underwhelmed me, if you get what I mean. I've watched them a few times, and I thought they actually looked a lot better last year, and I think they only came about 11th or 12th last year. That might be wrong, so... But yeah, I was more encouraged by them last year. And this year, I think they've gone backwards a bit in terms of their overall style. And I'd say they're actually a bit fortunate to be in the position they're in terms of the league table.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. I think they're a decent side, Palace, but I don't think West Ham should turn them over. But we're going to come to this man. Where is he? It's this man. Lucas Paqueta. Easy question for you here. Do you think he starts on Sunday? Because I actually believe he does. I think the reason why Flynn played last night is because I think Paqueta starts, or he's coming back on Sunday. What do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely, he's got to start. And I think we've missed him a lot more than I thought we were going to. I think we definitely would have got at least 1 point out of the games against Liverpool and Man United if he played, because we did dominate some of the periods in both games. We just had no one bar really Ben Rama who could create a chance. So we definitely need Paqueta back. I think Scamacca's missed him a lot. Scamacca's looked a shade of what he was when Paqueta was here. Paqueta assisted Scamacca 2 games in a row against Freiburg and Fulham. And since then, centrally, Scamacca hasn't had the service. So it'll be good to see Paqueta back. He's got to come back as well. And I think a home game against the side that we should be beating is the perfect game for Paqueta, as it was proven against Fulham. My only worry is he's a Brazilian. He's obviously a starter for Brazil. Is he going to be a bit like, oh, I don't really want to play, if you get what I mean? I'd rather make sure I'm fit for Brazil. So, yeah, I'm not sure if he will start, but I hope he does.
Yeah, listen, we need him back, mate. I can't stress enough how much we need this geezer back. He's the bright spark that we've been looking for, and it is a worry for me that we're relying on this man who's just come to the club to sort of make sure he turns up week in, week out. Jazza, I keep telling you, Paqueta should be Souček's replacement, not Downs. He fits perfectly into the deeper role. Listen, Jazza, I don't not disagree with you, but this is David Moyes, and David Moyes does mad things. And for me, it's just it just makes no sense to drop Downs, but I can see it happening. I really can. Westhamonline. Let's talk. Let's come to him. Might as well, Warrior, and then we go to predictions. And this man, David Moyes. How much pressure is Moyes under for you on Sunday? Because for me, if he loses this game, he's under pressure massively. For me.
I guess he's under a bit of a pressure, but I will say one thing. We've lost 7 games this year, and that's really not good enough. In fact, that's terrible. So we can't afford to lose many more, if I'm honest. 7's shocking, if I'm honest. But in terms of performances, I wouldn't say we deserve to lose 7, maybe 4 or 5. But obviously, he's got to be under a bit of pressure because of that. Some fans have turned on him, some haven't yet. So he certainly can't afford to lose many more games. And I think he needs to get at least 4 points before the World Cup, especially considering we have 2 home games against teams that we were better than last season. So I think we need to get at least 4 points. And we can't really say, oh, let's go for 3. 3 would be good enough because we're in a difficult position as it is. And if we want to get top 7 again, then we probably need to get the 4 points. And I'm going to say this, if we fail to win either of the next 2 games, I think all focus in our season will turn to winning the Conference League because that will guarantee us Europe, obviously, if we win that.
But is that right, though, Westhamonline? Like, because the way I look at this is, after the World Cup, things are going to get, I'll go up another level. Like, West Ham will be in Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, Conference League. And West Ham are playing bad now, right? Maybe the break, the World Cup break, will come at a good time for West Ham. But we are, for me, these next 2 games for Moyes will decide where our season's headed. If we lose, just for argument's sake, we lose both these games, we're in a relegation battle. There's no two ways about it. Because when we do come back, we've got Arsenal, who are flying at the minute. Yeah. And then we've got Brentford, who turned us over twice last year. Yeah. By the new year, if and I'm going to use it I'm going to be the negative one today, but if we don't win no games from now to the end till 2023, we're in trouble, mate. We're in trouble big time. I agree. We have to beat Palace and Leicester for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we have to win. 4 points would be at worst, and to be honest, that probably wouldn't be good enough. I do agree with you. I think we need the 6. If we get 6 points, suddenly we're looking up and we're thinking, okay, we're not in a bad position here. But obviously, 6 points isn't easy to come by in the Premier League, so I don't want to make an early assumption. But this Palace game, I'd be really disappointed if we walk away without winning. We're at home. We probably got Paqueta back. We've been playing. We just won in the European Conference. We should be high-ish on confidence because of that. We've got Gerd back, who I've heard. Well, Moyes said yesterday he's not going to play till after the World Cup.
I don't agree with that. I really don't, mate.
Do you know what I think it is? I actually think it's the same reason what I just said for Paqueta. I reckon it's coming from a Gerd's camp. I reckon if Moyes had the choice, he would play Gerd in the Premier League. But I reckon
mate.
He don't want to get injured for
I don't know.
Morocco.
I understand that, but I look at Aguerd last night, and last night really was a walk in the park for him. But I was worried last night. I was thinking to myself, bloody hell, please don't someone put a tackle on him, and then he goes over, especially foreign soil, traveling on planes and everything. So for me, when I looked at it with Aguerd, I think Aguerd's ready. If you can do that in Romania, you can do that in the Prem. And I'm not going to be rude to Dawson because Dawson's been great, but it's levels, and Aguerd's miles above Dawson. And for me, a 75% Aguerd is better than 100% Dawson, in my opinion. Right? And that's no disrespect to Dawson, but it is what it is. For me, I just look at it like this. Like Jazza says here, two huge games for Moyes. You don't play your £30 million centre back when he's ready.
I really do. I want to know because if Moyes does want to play him, do you agree with me here? If Moyes does want to play him and he's not allowed, and Moyes has to come out and pretend that it's because he's not fit. I think that's a bit unfair on Moyes because Moyes fans will be going, "Why are you not playing him?" But if the reason is that Gerd's camp is saying not to, then I don't think it's right for us to assume that it's the manager. If you get what I mean.
I don't know though, mate, because West Ham pays bills. Like West Ham pays wages, so West Ham really have the right to say whatever they like. And I get what you're saying. I understand it, but I do look at it different and think if I was manager, I'd be like, "Well, sorry, Morocco, right? We pay his wages at the end of the day, and he plays for us. And if I want him to play, he plays because let's be honest, he can get an injury anytime. The fear I have is anyone picking up any injuries at the World Cup because you're going to fight foreign soil. It's going to be a different atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? The heat might play a part. It's going to be different this year. It's going to be weird. It's going to be different.
It's going to be crap.
For me, I do think Moyes I don't want to be negative on Moyes because Moyes has done good things. And I know you are very supportive of Moyes, but I can't see West Ham losing these 2 games and expecting people to be backing this man. I really can't. Like, there's not really. Name me a game this season, Westhamonline, where you've seen West Ham play like 75% of the game brilliant. Because I can't.
75%. I am struggling if it was 50%, I'd say, oh, we've had loads. 75, I can't, because I think our best first half this season was. I can't think of a good first half.
We haven't had a good first half. Now, I'll tell you what I think. Yeah. I think Nottingham Forest, we smashed them to bits. We just couldn't score. Like, we hit the post, we hit the bar, we had a penalty miss, everything. I would say that was the closest we've been to being decent this year. I think Brighton was poor, Everton was poor. I think Southampton for 60 minutes we was poor. Villa we was very, very poor, but we got the job done. Certain games we've got away with it. Probably the Wolves game is a game where I look at it and go, we was good over a good period of time. Like, but Wolves were crap. Let's be honest. Yeah.
James, I've got to quickly butt in, just really quick. I've just seen something I've been tagged in on Twitter, and this guy's being serious. There's a West Ham fan claiming that Downs is the worst West Ham player he's seen since Caleri.
Well, he's just a troll. He's just a troll. I can't be dealing with mugs. Do you know what I mean? I really can't. So what are you saying on Moyes then, to round this up, and then we get your prediction on Moyes? Are you going to be firmly behind Moyes if this goes wrong in the next 2 games? Because next 3 games we've got Palace, Blackburn, Leicester. Personally, I expect us to win all 3. Right,
I agree.
If we're competing for top 10 or top 8, and that's where we're supposed to be, I expect West Ham to go out and bang these teams out the ground easily. Yeah, because we're better than Palace. Right, we've got a better squad than Palace, better players than Palace. Blackburn, we should be turning over. Championship side, we should be turning this team over at home. And the Leicester game is going to be hard, but I do expect West Ham at present, with the way Leicester have been this year, to beat them. So,
yeah.
What's your final thoughts with Moyes before we come
I think if we don't win either of the next 2 games, I am going to have to turn and admit that I was wrong. So, yeah, that will be the situation. If we win both, then obviously I'm always in. If we get 4 points, then obviously, once again, as I said earlier, I think that's probably just about good enough. 3 points, and I'm concerned. I'm certainly concerned. But if we play well in both and don't score, then I'll be asking what the hell is going on up front.
Yeah. It is a worry up front. I will say that. But we will come to this, and it is predictions time. Westhamonline, I'll let you go first. What are you saying on Sunday?
I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. I'm going to be positive. 3-1, goals from Scamacca will be back amongst the goals, as will Bowen, as will Craig Dawson.
I don't like to be negative, right? But I'm going for a draw. The reason why I'm going for a draw is pretty simple, really. Every time we play this team at home, we seem to draw this game. Every time. Last season, we was leading twice. 4-0, and Antonio scored the goals.
I remember that game.
2-1 up, and they kept pegging us back. We do struggle against Palace at home, and recently we've been in, like, they've been in our heads, like, at home, but away from home, we've been doing them all the time. So I'm going to go for a draw in this game. I think West Ham will get a draw. I want to win. I do want to win, but I feel the draws on the cards here. And if it is a draw and we play well, then I'll roll it over to the Leicester game. But if we sort of get away with it again and it ends up being a draw, the performance this weekend has got to be massive. Like,
yeah.
And if it is, then we've got half a chance.
I've got a quick question for you, James.
Go ahead.
How would you react in your mind if you see the lineup against Palace on Sunday, and you see Scholes is in the team?
Do you know what? I thought he done well yesterday. I thought he done well against a lower end opposition. 16 years old, decent player. It wouldn't bother me, obviously, but I would like to see either Cresswell or Emerson there, like as more experience. We need one thing. I'm going to say we need to see a reaction. Like I've not seen West Ham give a team ag at all really this year. Like the 4 games that we've won, we've got away. Like, and if we was to break it down quickly, Villa, right? We covered that game here, yeah. And me, Tom, and Lucas was having a major debate about it, really, like major, like because Tom reckoned West Ham played well enough to win the game and deserved the win. Me and Lucas was adamant that we didn't play well at all.
I thought we were rubbish against Villa.
Yeah, against Villa we was poor, right? Against Wolves, for the first 20 minutes of that game, we were under it, but they was honest, like a good one, yeah. Then we got the goal. We opened up, then Bowen got the second, and then that was it. Good night from them. And the Fulham and Bournemouth games paper over the cracks for me because Fulham, we get every decision go out in our favour. Don't get me wrong. We had Dawson's penalty, which was a penalty in my opinion, but some people might disagree, but it was 100% a penalty. Skamaka's handball, was it or won't it? And then Antonio's handball against Fulham. But don't forget, against Fulham, Dan James had a shot that smacked off the crossbar, and if that goes in, we're 2-0 down. So we got a bit of run in that game. And the Bournemouth game, we didn't really do a lot in the first half against a Bournemouth side, and then we managed to sort of get a goal, which through a loophole, really. So it hasn't been pretty this year. It hasn't. Like the Conference League does paper over the cracks for me a little bit. Like it makes us look better than what we're playing. But I don't know. I need to see something on Sunday. I really do. Do you know what I'm saying? Are you going on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, mate. Good. Right. That is enough from me and Westhamonline. Any final thoughts, Westhamonline? Anything you want to discuss before we go?
One final thought that I do want to mention is I think the fact that Down started last night also confirms that Souček is going to start against Palace on Sunday, and I am fed up of Souček starting, and I don't know what he needs to do to get dropped. Because even though I think Souček's actually not been that bad lately, it's evident that we're better keeping the ball, progressing the ball when he's not in the team.
We will see what happens there, mate. Anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. It's the first time using the iPad, so I'm going to see how it comes out because I done a stream.
No, it came out really good quality-wise.
Right. I done a stream last night with Lucas, a watch along, and it came out absolutely horrendous, mate. And I'll be honest, I was like pixelated for about the whole 2 hours, so that weren't good. Anyway, we'll be back Sunday. Straight after the game, doing an afterthought, and then hopefully in the evening, player ratings. But stay tuned for that. Anyway, from me to you, have a good Friday. It's Friday. The weekend is upon us, football weekend. And I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.